Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Before I get into the news today, I just want to preface a few things. Yes, the Daredevil video is still coming. Final season things have been going on in my own personal life for the month of November, but I have been working on it behind the scenes and I actually am almost finished with it. I tried to get it done today, but this update happened. Something else I'm going to be working on in the night happened. I got a cast too, but don't worry, that will be coming. And I also do know the next character I want to do for Marvel Tokon hypothetical moveset. Most likely a Human Torch or Nova. Human Torch or Nova, one of the two. Most likely Nova, that's my boy. But yes, that is going to be a series. Plus, I might do something for Invincible leading up for Invincible Versus. More so akin to how I did my Hunter x Hunter and Impact video about my roster wish list, so look forward to that too. Don't worry, I got stuff coming up for both of those games, and once I'm on my winter break, things will be getting crazy in terms of content. So don't worry about that. But as you can see, I have less of a edited video. You see my face, and that's because we are going over the new Hotfix patch, which I'm very excited for. Let me tell you. And if you've known me and if you've seen my cast, especially at DreamHack Atlanta for Top 16, you will know that I have been preying on the downfall of a certain rat. And finally we got it. We are finally killing the rat. Teemo down, ladies and gentlemen. I could not be happier. And the hotfix has been released. I've tested it a little bit myself, at least already with damage values. We do have the hotfix, so I'm ready to go in. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. I did have to put my glasses on. That's why there's a little bit of a jump cut, because I need to read our lovely patch notes while we get through everything. So before we get into the main course, we got to eat some appetizers up a little bit. So we do have a system change when it comes to meter gain. As said in the patch notes, spending meter has not been enough of a decision, especially for champs that can just multiple supers per combo, say Yasuo here. The meter gain adjustment in 1.0.1 didn't quite go far enough, and we think this update will reduce the power of our biggest meter spamming abusers. So, what's the change? So now meter gain penalty for spending meter in a combo increased from 25% to 75%. Now that I've said that in my piece about that, let's get into the actual character changes. We got a little bit going on with Ahri, mainly the fact that she's been doing too much damage in advanced levels of play. So now 2xKO is deciding to reduce her damage on more advanced combo routes to help bring her in line. So we got two moves that are changed. First up, her Orb of Deception. So now her explosion damage is reduced. As you can see, her explosion damage now does 75. Compare that to before, which was about 115. She did get a little buff though, in turn though. Her damage increased by 5 on each hit on the non-hold version. It was 25 per hit and it's now 30, which you can see here, 30, 30, 30, 30, 75. So doing the math, before the damage in total from her Orb of Deception non-charge would be 240, because you have 115 for the explosion and 25 per hit. Now it only does 225, so slightly less, but not crazy drastic as you might see for the explosion. Be like, whoa, reduced by 40, it's kind of crazy. No, in total it's more reduced by 15 for the entire super. But the main problem that 2xKO highlights is at the end of really long combos, this S1 super was still doing too much damage. So it's a little bit more balanced in that way. And the other move that she got changed was mid-air charged H. This was actually incorrectly put before as her up H, or I think her down H. So her launcher, but no, it's her mid-air charged H that got changed. Used to do 85, now it does 80. A very simple change. So yeah, just damage modifiers for Ahri. We'll take that, but ooh, let's get into the other guy. I'll see you there. Teemo. Teemo. A prolific character. The guy who can just stay back and stall. And as 2xKO sites, they quite literally say in their first sentence, yeah, he's doing too much. His specials didn't have enough recovery and were difficult to interact with, which was leading to stalled game states and aggressively long combos. So now they're removing power from special moves that are overperforming to help develop clearer counterplay and bring his power level more in line with the other champs, which honestly is really fair, especially with some of the mushroom moves and mainly the shovel and the fireballs. That stuff that he could do before was just a little too much. And if you don't know, it was actually said on Twitter by one of the developers, which I'll put the tweet on screen here, that this was the whole point of making this hotfix ahead of time. There will be more patches starting in January 2026 for more smaller stuff at honestly like more of a wide roster thing. But the devs realized that Teemo was just too powerful that they had to rush his nerfs. Like, they were planning to do these nerfs either way. They were just like, okay, let's just do them a little bit more ahead of time because I think Teemo is a bit too much. So that's what happened here. So what happened? All right, only a few moves really got nerfed, but they're really good nerfs. Starting off with the Noxious Trap, aka mushrooms. Yeah, these got changed. So, big thing, they can now be hit while Teemo is throwing them. So, for example, if I do a little playback here, do something like that, I try to set it up where I'm, well, yeah, see? As I was trying to set it up, my mushroom got hit out, which can now happen. So, your mushrooms are never truly safe. Because now, if you try to set them up, you might get them hit. Having mushrooms visible but not hittable led to very unclear counterplay, as also stated by the 2xKO devs. We're making mushrooms hittable after they start their downward descent on startup, which is 12 frames after being performed. So once you get 12 frames, yeah, you can start hitting them. So it is going to be very easier to counterplay them. We also have a slightly increased hurt box by putting them into the air. You can see they're a little bigger. Like if I put them here, they're kind of similar to when you load them onto the ground, but it is good that they still have a increased size in the air. Their hurt boxes are also taller while being activated, as I showed before. You see how they kind of go back to like a little, like when the mushrooms are stretched out, they're like a little above half. But when I put them out, it's like the entire body you can hit it out on. So definitely different there. So even on just like a standing light, if you use it correctly, you can take care of it, which is really good. That's all we got for the Noxious Trap. Now, we got the Sharp Scout, aka the Slingshot. The mid-air Slingshot, to be specific. The one on the ground has not been changed. That one's still perfectly fine. But the main thing is, after using this move in the air, you can't perform another action until landing. So for example, people would do this and then try to fire a mushroom right after to stall, which was really good. But now, you gotta wait! You gotta wait, buddy! Which is really good change. In turn though, landing recovery has been reduced. It's been reduced by about 4 frames. As you can see right there. It used to be 10. Now it's about like 6. So, at least you can make that a little bit easier when you're trying to land. That does mean you can no longer avoid the landing recovery. There is no way to avoid landing recovery from using the slingshot in the air, which is really good because this was really spammable. Unless it was in its hot badge form, it was really hard to see the thing. So at least it's going to be much more noticeable, at least on the startup for the move. And now, as you can see, there is a larger hurt box when it happens. It used to be just kind of around his body, say very similar to how this hurt box is when he's on the ground. But as you can see, he is much larger when he tries to fire the slingshot in the air. So it's going to be easier to hit him during startup and recovery on this move, which is very good. Next up, we got Vandal Dash! Yeah! The Sonic Roll has been hit. It used to ignore minimum damage scaling, which is kind of crazy. Now it scales, which is really good. So, yay! For the uncharged damage, the uncharged version, damage has been reduced by 10. Not 10, but 20. Used to be 130. Now it's only 110. So, hey, a little less damage. For the charged version, same thing. It used to do 150. Now it only does 130. So the damage we got before on the uncharged version of Vandal Dash is now the charged version of Vandal Dash. So that's really good because it was really good to use, say, after using Noxious Surprise. Say if I set up Noxious Surprise here, I could just kind of do this and see how I'm able to just also, like, that's just with the auto combo after that too, which is kind of crazy that you can do that in an auto combo. Well, no, that's not out of the auto combo, but that's just after, like, pressing medium, you're just able to go through the pulse control straight into your S1 super, which is kind of wild. So really good that we changed that. But like with the ground, mid-air version of Vandal Dash has also been changed. Same thing with the slingshot. If you use it in the air, that's it. You gotta wait until you get back on the ground in order to do something else. No mushroom setup for you. That's not happening this time around. You gotta wait. And as you can see, the recovery still takes a while. You can see it's like about 14, like 10, 14. We did get a landing recovery reduced rate by about 1 frame, which is really good. But still, it's gonna be rough. It is gonna be rough. So now you can no longer avoid landing recovery when using the Vandal Dash either. Again, it was really easy, let's say with mushroom setup, for Teemo to really just avoid that mid-air recovery. So good thing we changed that. Good thing we did. There is hit stun decay of the final hit that now scales with combos up to 50% of max hit stun decay. Previously, it did not scale with combos. And there's also stuff that's changed with the uncharged and charged versions. For the uncharged version only, hit stun on the final hit has increased by 5. If I can... Jesus Christ. So, it used to be 31. But now it is 36. There's still some invulnerable settings for Yasuo, but there is some more hit stun there than before. And for the charge version, which I will show, the final hit, as you can see, I just got the final hit there. It only does 55 damage. It was scaling before, so it was a little hard to show it, but it only does 55. It used to do 60, but now it only does 55. And you can see it scales now, so we got 44 in there, and we got 50 in there too. So that's really good. We do got some other changes. That's just for our special moves, but we got some other stuff too. For the supers, yes, his supers did got touched. For this infamous active tag super, the infamous super tag super, nothing. Actually, nothing got changed. This is exactly the same. Lovely. But we did change the Noxious Surprise. The first thing is, if I say, there we go. The final hit is actually reduced by 10 damage. It's very hard to show there. It's like only doing 49. If the final hit alone hits, it will do like 60 damage, which is actually reduced from 70. And now it has some minimum damage scaling. Used to be 55, but now it's 45. So really good. You can kind of see it's doing a little less damage than before. So that's very good. And that's all the super nerfs. Just some damage scaling and some hit reduction. But that doesn't mean we're done, because we also got nerfs to the amount of combo length. Yeah, you know the shovel? This really good OTG move that he could use to literally do the mushroom loops? Yeah, we got nerfs. So minimum hit stun has decreased from 50% of the max hit stun decay to 40%. Very good there. And also the tag launcher too. The startup has increased by 3 frames. It was 12, but it is now 15. If I go back in there, as you can see, it gets on 15. So, it takes a tad bit longer. This is mainly to negate if you're able to do mushroom loop, doing the shovel into the tag launcher, which was extremely common and very easy to set up, especially late into combos. So we are able to get rid of that, but we can still do something like getting into S1 Super after doing the shovel. I could still pop my ultimate after doing the shovel. So we could still fire this off. And we can still go for normals after that too. So, hey, you still got stuff you can do off of the shovel, especially late into the combos. But, no more tag launching, buddy. No more tag launching. The craziest thing is, though, I've been saying about all these great nerfs. This guy somehow still got buffed. We still got buffs. We gotta take care of buffs. So, first off, his forward throw actually got buffed. Yeah, this cream. It now scales the combo length slightly less. It's very minor, but it allows the it allows you to say go for the shovel into. Oh, I messed that up. You can still do the. Man, I suck. Hold on. I got this. I literally just got it before. Actually, it would be better if I like put him in the corner. Definitely a better way I could have done that. So that's like a better way of getting, like, especially late into the combo, of still getting the shovel into the tag launcher if you want to. You just gotta make sure you get a throw in there, which maybe I shouldn't say because that was still very common in Teemo combos. But also, if you see too, the tag launcher also did get buffed. There is a slightly larger hitbox on this than before. I wish I recorded the hitbox from before. You can see it's a rather large hitbox. So, can't hit from there. I can hit from there. It's just a nice little distance away. I can hit from right there. So, hey, a bigger hitbox, so it's going to be easier to combo from the shovel too. Wait, it's going to be easier to combo from the shovel? I thought we wanted that kill. Oh, whatever. Oh, whatever. We still got the nerfs from before. So it looks like the devs want you to still be able to do the shovel into tag launcher. Just not late into a combo. So if you want to do it really late in a combo, it's going to be pretty rough. But if you want to do it just verbatim, sure. Go for it. There's also a bug fix with Teemo. Before, there were some problems with JM being properly air thrown. So, if I mess up on my JM, look at that. He is able to air throw me. See, able to air throw. So, that is going to be a little easier for people to just get that. Because this pizza cutter is absolutely insane. That's what me and Nitin like to call it on our DreamHack cast, and I've been using that ever since because it works. It's a wheel. It's not really how you cut pizza, but actually I'm just gonna call it the wheel. Yeah. Other than that, there is one other more minor change that I will go over right now for Teemo. That being that his Expert 1 combo trial has been a little adjusted. Now going into it. Oh yeah! Oh, whoa! It has been. This is my first time seeing it. Before, you were able to do 2 J2Ms leading into the rest of that combo, but it looks like now you can only do 1. So let's see if we can attempt it right now. Ooh, first try? Oh, first try! You have no idea I was trying to do this before when I saw the patch, and it took me so many times. But hey, first try. I mean, when I warm up on Teemo, I do pretty well. But yeah. I hope that this patch will make the game feel a lot better, especially more balanced. Little stuff for Ahri because I felt like she really wasn't touched in the last patch, but Teemo especially needed a lot more fixes, and I think this is going to allow for a little bit more of a balanced meta, especially for the rest of the year, because this is how the meta is going to look like for the rest of the year. There's no more patches until 2026, so hopefully we can end off 2025 with a bang. But with that, thank you all for watching, and take it easy. Deuces.